Morning, everyone. Hope you are well. Right, let's just make sure I can see everyone. Comments and everything. If you are watching live, let me know. Give me some comments. Say hi. Let me give you a few minutes just to. Just turn that off. Let me know if you're watching live, guys. That's not working. Let me see if I can. Hope you've all got your pens and paper ready as well, because we're going to be covering off quite a lot today. Actually, it would be handy if I've got mine in front of me as well. Cool. Right. Okay. Okay. Oh no, Claire, that's not good, is it? No, I hate that when that. Well, I do hate it when that happens because I think it's rude. I hope the person told you that they weren't coming, but also sometimes I kind of go, oh, do you know what? I've got my time back, so I can kind of focus and do and get on with things that I need to do from my things to do list, which I kind of see it as time getting back, which is quite nice, which is quite good, which is good. Right. Okay. So we'll just give it a couple of minutes just to get other people, let everyone get kind of settled in, do what they need to do, and then we can get started. All right. Oh, that's brilliant. So Gemma's been out networking and back again. Oh, right. God, that must have been an early one. A really, really early one. Yeah, I know it's Thursday today. I look forward to Fridays because I don't really work on Fridays, but tomorrow I've got coaching session with my program members, and then we're doing the last day of the challenge as well. But tomorrow you will see me in hoodie and tracksuit bottoms because Friday is hoodie and tracksuit bottoms day. And we've got a really busy weekend, so yeah, so I'm just looking forward just to having a bit of a chill day. But you are going to have to bear with me today. I am going to be sipping on this, my hot lemon water. I did 3 hours of singing yesterday, so my voice is my voice vocal cords are very, very strained. So I'm not allowed to sing today because if you don't know, I'm singing live on stage on Sunday night. Started singing lessons 4 weeks ago. Yeah, and me being me, just decided that I would sing on, in a pub, in front of a crowd. So yeah, I've got to rest my vocal cords, which isn't good today because he did say to me, I hope you're not doing any talking tomorrow. No, not a lot. Just for an hour. So don't apologize for being late. Never apologize for, being late. Your time is your time. So don't worry about it. I'm not going to hold it against you. Just rock up when you can, and you can catch up as well because this is recorded. Some people have been saying that they're struggling to kind of keep up and catch up. These are all going to be available for you to watch right up until the end of the month. So if you need to go back through any of them, then you can. It's not a problem at all. Right. Okay. So day one, we talked about your values, getting yourself out there, your visibility, and ask the question, what do you want to earn next month? Okay. So Caroline's off to the dentist. Have fun. And then Gemma, amazing. I love singing. I had a band practice last night as well. Oh my God, you're not in the thing on Sunday, are you, Gemma? I need to know. I need to know if you're there as well. With Ivor, are you doing that as well? Oh, be interesting if you are. Small world. Yeah, it was singing. I had an hour and a half singing lesson yesterday anyway, and there's a powerful, really powerful bit in one of the, well, in two of the, in both the songs that I'm singing, and I've been holding myself back. So yesterday my singing coach made me really go for it, and then I had practice with the band last night, which was really weird because I've been using a backing track to practice to, and then bringing in a band and backing singers. Oh my god, it was like really surreal and really weird. So yeah, no, oh, you're in a punk band. Ah, love that. Do love that. Yep. I do love it actually. The only reason I started doing it was because when we go away over Christmas and New Year to Lanzarote, we're always going to do karaoke. Give me a microphone and a karaoke and you can't get me off. But I love singing, and one of my goals for this year when we go is to be able to sing Whitney Houston's I Have Nothing. So that's why I started the singing lessons, because that was what I wanted to kind of get to over the, this year. And then it just kind of came up, I'm doing this, kind of, you sing, mic, you've got an open mic. And I was like, yeah, go on then, let's do it. And he just looked at me if they'd say, you're one crazy lady, especially when you've, not had any singing lessons. But I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Anyway, I digress. So we on Tuesday, I asked you what you wanted to earn. Okay. And it was really great seeing all of that. And then yesterday we talked about getting yourself out there, how you kind of think about yourself in your business. And I'm loving seeing the posts, absolutely loving it. And it's really good that you're taking that first step to kind of getting yourself out there. So what I want to talk about today, and I've lost my piece of paper where I wrote everything down. I'm hoping that it's stuck behind. It was stuck to those. God, if you saw my desk, my desk is an absolute mess today. Well, when I say it's a mess for me. For other people, they kind of go, your desk is really organised. Anyway, my desk is a mess at the moment because we've got so much on the go with stuff that we're launching and things that it's just trying to make sure everyone knows where they are. Okay, so what we're going to have a look at today is breaking down. So you've all got that figure, all right? So I want that figure that you told me on Tuesday. And if you weren't on Tuesday's session and you've jumped straight into day 3, that's fine, doesn't matter. The question I asked on Tuesday was, what income do you want to earn in April next month? Okay, and I want you to write that down on a piece of paper. The other question that I asked was for you to write a list down of all the products and services that you offer and what those costs are. Because let's say, for example, so I was open and I said, right, okay, our target for April is 10,000. Okay, that's what, as a business, that's what I want. That's what I want to bring in. And in order to do that, I need to have a plan. Okay, I need to know what I'm going to do in order to do that. I can't just say, oh, I want to earn 10 grand and it's, I haven't got a money tree at the bottom of the garden. No one's going to post it through my letterbox. So I have to figure out how I have that. Now we have residual work that comes in every single month, and we know what that is, but there is a gap. Okay, so there's a gap of around £3,000. So I need to figure out how I'm going to earn that £3,000 in April. So it's then sitting down and working that out, and this is where writing down your products and your services work out, because you are obviously wanting to earn more next month to what you earn this month. So what you earn this month is mostly what you earn month in, month out, because you have that residual work coming in. However, are you somebody that is constantly having to bring work in all the time as well? If you are, then you need to plan ahead and think to yourself. So I showed you roughly what the plan was that we're working on for the rest of the year, and I've just broke it down quite nicely and neatly for you on a bigger sheet. So we've got Q2, and then we've got the rest of the year as well. I tend to work in more fine detail on quarters as we go along, but the whole year is mapped out. Now there isn't much in November and there isn't anything in December, and the reason for that being is, one, I don't work in December. I have most of December off anyway, and December's more for me gearing up to get ready for January, because again, it's making sure that we're planning and doing everything that we need to do. I normally launch my training program in January. You know, there's other things that I have that are going on. So we've got to make sure that we're geared up. The other thing is that I in November, because I run my academy in October, I normally tend to find that that is kind of taking up my time in November and December as well. So that's why I only kind of go up to October. But what that is, I have built a business that allows me to take time off. So I take all of August off and I take all of December off as well. Okay. And that's what I've done over the years. I've built a business that the income comes in. I've got a residual income that comes in guaranteed every single month. And then everything else that I do on the other months that I am working, I've got that income coming in. Now, the other things that you've got to factor in as well is, when do you take your holidays and when do you take time off? Now, as a business owner, a lot of people think, oh, I can't take time off because if I take time off, I'm not getting paid. You need to take time off, okay? I take at least a week off every 6 weeks, and that is to reset my batteries, because, you know, when I'm working 100% on everything that I'm doing. And I'm starting to feel it now, because my 6 weeks of completely in on it, working on it, I'm starting to feel that burn, okay? But I know that as of I'm away on an event for 2 days next week. So kind of next Wednesday, that's me done actually for about 2.5 weeks, which is quite nice. Okay. Now, because I take time off doesn't mean that I sit back and don't do anything in my business. I am. Me resetting my batteries allows me to actually focus on the things that I need to focus on. There's nothing in my diary that's taking my time up. I've got no one-to-one sessions booked in. There's no coaching, there's nothing from there. But what it allows me to do is clear my head and actually think about what I need to be working on. So I find that really important. So if you're not taking time out of your business, even if it's a long weekend, it's really important to think about that. I was talking to someone a while ago, and they said that they've got the business, their own business, and they've had their own business for 4 years. And in those 4 years, they've not taken a single holiday. And that's really, really worrying and concerning, because your body and your mind, you physically can't do that. You can't. And you work for yourself because you mostly hated working for someone else. And when you worked for someone else, you worked 9 to 5, 5 days a week, and have got 4 or 5 weeks holiday a year. So you've got to maintain that you're still getting that time off. So this is why it's really good to plan and think about what you want to earn each month, because then when you do want to take time off, or you think to yourself, actually, I am going to start having some time off, you can factor that into what you're doing. So we need to break it down. So what you then do is, once you've broken down what all your products and your services are, hopefully you know what those costs are. And then you know what you need to do in order to kind of make that. So for me, that £3,000 gap, okay, how am I going to do that? That's a hell of a lot of money to kind of think of. So if we look at our social media management packages, they start at £200. So I could possibly go out and find, what would that be? I could go out and find 15 new social media management clients. Okay, that's not too bad, because on average we bring in about 3 or 4 each month anyway. Okay, and they as I said, packages start from 200, but some of our clients pay £1,500 a month. So depending on what they're kind of looking for. Then I could have a look at my coaching sessions. So my coaching sessions are for 2 hours, it's like £350. So I could then kind of think to myself, okay, well, I could do 9 of those. But then I've got to find 18 hours in April to run those sessions. That's okay. But as I said, I'm off from, the 1st of April until I'm back in the office on the 18th of April. And then we've got a bank holiday at the end of April. So I'm actually only left with 10 days. So trying to fit 18 hours of work in those 10 days on top of everything else, that's going some. That really is. I've marked in to do 2. I've got 2 spaces left. I normally do 3 or 4 coaching sessions a month, and I've got 2 gaps left in April. But the other thing is, I'm running an all-day training masterclass day, okay, and that is where my focus is for April, okay, because I'm running that in May, but I need to sell the tickets in April. So there are 100 spaces. Actually, there's 75, but we can squeeze 100 people in. So that is basically where that £3,000 focus is going to be on. So I now need to plan my social media, but that's not the only thing that I need to focus on next month as well. So my Accelerate program, which is my 6-month program, launches on the 1st of April. Then we've got the tickets for the masterclass, and then all the other bits that we do as well. So they're my 2 focuses. So I have to make sure that my social media plan and my marketing plan and my business plan for the next 30 days, or for, let's say 40 days, is focusing around that build up and getting that message out there. And this is why it's really important to have a 30, 60, 90 and 180 day plan. Because if you don't know what you are doing in your business, then how do you know what to put out on your social media and out on your marketing, like your email marketing, your reels, your videos, anything else that you let's say speak, if you want to do public speaking in groups and events, podcasts. How do you know what you need to do if you don't have a plan within your business? Okay, so the first thing that I want you to have a look at today for your first task, and if you've got any questions about this, pop them in the comments. Okay, if you're following with what I'm saying, let me know as well. If it's going straight over your head, again, ask a question. No question is a silly question, all right? Because I believe that the more questions you ask, the easier it is to understand. I try and keep things as simple as I possibly can, but we all don't think the same. Our brains are all wired very differently. So if you're not getting what I'm saying, please do say, please ask, and I can always try and put it in a different way for you. So the first part of the task that I'd like you to look at today is looking at your business, okay? And I'm going to show you what you need to kind of think about for the next 30 days, so for April. So at the top of your page, you've got what you want to earn. Then you've got your business, your products and your services that are going to help you get to that. Are your products and services going to enable you to actually tick off that box of earning that income for next month? If they're not and there's a shortfall, how can you change that? Is there something that you can introduce to your business that might be something different? So my masterclasses, I don't run them every single month. I actually run them most probably twice a year. Okay, normally I've done them online, but these ones are going to be in person. So I run them twice a year, so they're not a guaranteed income every single month. But what they are allowing me to sell a ticket. So the early bird price tickets are going to be £59. Okay, and the actual tickets are going to be £87. So I've got, that's where my opportunity is to to sell that big bulk of income. All right. Last month my big bulk of income was from my Let's Get Social program. So I launched that on the 1st of February, and for the whole month of February it was half price as an early bird. So that brought in thousands of pounds, okay, in February. So it's looking at your business to see, actually, these are the things that I do every single month, but what can I actually do that is going to take my business to the next level? Emma, that's okay. Don't apologise. Don't apologise. Loved your reel yesterday, by the way. That was really, really good. And this is where I want you to start thinking, is what can you do that is going to enable you? Because I can't remember the exact words, but Einstein said the definition of it's like doing the same thing every single day. It's not actually, it's not going to get you anywhere. All right, it will with certain things, but you have to tweak things. You have to change them, because if you do the same thing over and over and over again, you get into a habit, and trends change. Okay, social media changes, markets change, our audience change. what our audience wants change. What I was doing last year is completely different to this year. And the reason for that being is social media is so different. If you haven't done any social media training for a year, I'd highly recommend doing some, because things have dramatically changed. And if you're still doing the same thing as what you were a year ago and wondering why your social media isn't working for you, it might be because there are things that you need to change in your social media. I often get people come and say to me, Sam, I don't know what's going on. I literally, 6 months ago, this product was flying off the shelf. And now I can't get anyone to sign up for it. Normally what it is, there's normally two things. Normally the product isn't, well, there's a few things it can be. The product is no longer kind of working for their target audience. The target audience is completely wrong, or slightly wrong, or the messaging is wrong. It's normally the messaging is wrong, okay? And normally a few tweaks in messaging can make a massive difference. And you'll be amazed at how many social media posts or emails or newsletters that I look at, and I just go, it's not working because your messaging is wrong. I work with a company that sell products for horse lovers. Yes, for horses and horse owners, and I'm helping them at the moment, kind of grow their business. And one of the things that I looked at for them was their email marketing that was going out, and she was just like, I just don't understand why it's not working. And I made a few tweaks, okay, and I said, right, I want you to. So she sent the newsletter out at the beginning of the month. I made the tweaks, and I said, right, I want you to send that newsletter out again. Oh my God, the uptake and the sales were, she messaged me, she went, you're not going to believe this. We've had so many people join this, because they basically wanted to pull people into their group, and they had a sale on. And she said, we've had so many orders in. I said, yeah, because it was just a few changes that we needed to make in the messaging. What she had done was fine, but it was too fluffy and it was too long-winded. And all I did was stripped it back and just made it really clear. And sometimes that's what we need to kind of be thinking about. All right, it's just making things really simple. We don't need to make things difficult. None of us want to have difficult things in the world. Just make things really, really simple. So you've got to think about, okay, what can you do in your business to help you grow? Because you haven't got hours and hours in the day. And you've got to think as well is, for me, yes, I could run 9 coaching sessions, that's fine, but that's 18 hours of my day. However, for bringing in the same income, I can run a masterclass, which is a day of my time. So let's say 9 o'clock till 6. It's longer than that because I've got to prepare everything. But that is better for me because it's only using up one day of my time, okay, rather than, and don't forget, when I'm doing coaching and it's 2 hours, I've got I've got the reports to send back. So it actually isn't just 2 hours of my work, it's doing the health checks for people and all the other things that happen with my coaching as well. So it's actually thinking what is the best part of your time. All right, so part one is, you've at the top of your page, you've got that income that you want to earn. Then you've got your products and your services listed out with what, your average cost. If you're someone that sells a product and you have a profit margin in that, okay, write that down. Not what so kind of think about your last 10 orders and then what is your average profit in those 10 orders, okay, do it that way. But the other thing you've got to think about as well with your business is, and this is something to really think about with your value and your time. I often get people kind of, say to me, I don't get it very often now because I think people value my time. But there was a time when I first started where people would try and cut me down in price. I don't discount, any of my coaching sessions unless it's like an early bird offer, but that's on my terms. Okay, if I discount something or I want to offer something of value, that is on my terms. I don't offer, if someone comes to me and says that, or can you do that for that? I don't do it. And the reason being is, if someone doesn't value my time and aren't prepared to pay what I charge, then they're not going to value my time. They're not going to value my service. And they normally end up being a pain in the backside to work with as well. So what you have to think about is, so for example, you're charging for your expertise, your knowledge. Okay, you've got to pay tax. You have to pay your gas, your electric. If you have a home office, if you have an office, you've got to pay for your rates and everything there. If you are traveling somewhere, you've got to pay for your travel, your fuel in your car, the wear and tear on your car. If you are running a training or something, it's everything that goes into it. So the masterclass that I'm running in May, that's not just a case of me rocking up on the 10th of May and running a session. We're going to have a photographer there taking photographs. I'm going to have someone hopefully videoing it the day as well. There's all the social media, there's the marketing, there's the team behind me, there's the sales page that we've got to build. There's the workbooks that we're designing, there's the lunch that we've got to sort out. There's lots and lots that we've got to kind of take into account. So when I kind of think, okay, that the £87 that I'm charging for the ticket, that's not 100% pure profit. Okay, you might think just because I sit in this office and I've got no overheads, my overheads are very, very small. That £87 isn't pure profit, but I'm not looking at the profit at the moment. What I'm looking at is revenue. Okay, because if you build your revenue and you build your revenue right, your profit will come. And that's one of the things that I want you to, sorry, I had bloods taken this morning, and I've just taken the plaster off and it's left my arm really itchy. I do apologise. And that's why I want you to really look at, when you put your prices next to your services and products, are you actually charging what you are worth, what your value is? And I completely get, if you are somebody that sells a product that has a set price and you can't change that price, I completely get that. But think about it when you offer discounts, okay? Because rather than offering a discount on a product, could you give them something else as value? Now, you are all somebody that is experienced in your industry. You are in your business the best in your business. You are the best in your business and industry. Okay. And there are loads of people that do what I do. But for me, I'm the best at what I do. Okay. And that's that's what you all need to think about as well, because you have your own way of doing things and you have lots of knowledge and lots of value. So what can you do that, rather than offering someone a discount, let's say 10%, what could you do that would give them value around your business? What can you offer them? Can you offer them a training? Can you offer them a PDF? Could you offer them some support? And it's more about your time rather than giving a discount. But then you have to kind of evaluate what is your time worth as well. But it's offering value with people. And the reason why I want you to look at your prices is because if you are taking into consideration your gas and electric, our gas and electric has doubled, okay, which it pretty much has for everybody. So while I've got my computer on and my ring light on, and if it's dark, I've got the office light on as well, and I'm charging other things, I've got to remember that the cost to do that now is double to what it was a year ago. I've also got to think that if I'm going on a training to someone's house or someone's office, which I'm starting to do again, I've got to travel there. So I've got to use fuel. Now we have an electric car, which is fine, but I've still got to charge it. I'm still being charged electric. And it's also what you value your time. Do you have an hourly rate? Okay. And do you value your time? Because one of the things is people don't put value on their time. They just think because it's their time, time doesn't matter. Time doesn't cost anything, so it doesn't matter. I remember last year someone joined my academy, and after 7 weeks still hadn't paid. So I said, I gave her lots of opportunities, and in the end I said, look, if you don't pay, I'm gonna, it's gonna go legal. She said, I don't see why I should pay you. It's only your time. And she owed me £1,500, and she just said, I'm not paying you. It was only your time. You haven't lost anything. Now, I have taken her legal. We have gone to court. I have won, and we're currently in the process of getting that money plus all of my expenses back. But if she just actually, and I think the thing is, by her actually turning around and saying, it's only my time, that really got my back up. And it takes a lot. Anybody that knows me knows it takes a lot to get my back up. And that really annoyed me. And I thought to myself, do you know what? I'm not going to let you get away with this, because this is principle now. You don't value people's time, and you never will. And I'm glad I did pursue it, because at the end of the day, you know, that's what we've got to that's what we've got to do. Francis said there was a court case recently. Yes, yeah, there was. And it's unfortunate that some people, just because you haven't got a physical product, they just think it's your time, they don't value it. And when you have clients say that to, when you have people say that to you, that's what you start thinking. So you then start thinking to yourself, well, actually, if I do 3 hours work for someone, maybe if I really discount it, I'll get more people buying it. Make sure your pricing is where people are going to value you, okay? And this is why it's really important to go and have a look at what your competition, your competitors are doing, because then you can align that you are doing what you need to do. But you also need to make sure that your target audience are willing to pay that price as well. So again, you've got two things here. If your target audience aren't willing to pay the price of what you're offering, it's either because they don't see the value in you, because your messaging isn't right, or you're targeting to the wrong audience and you need to go and find a new one. But it's normally the first one. Your messaging isn't right, so they don't understand your value. So how do we get our value out there? How do we get people to know what we're doing? So we've got what we want to earn, we've got our products, we've got our pricing, we've looked to see, actually, are we making sure that we are being valued for our time? Now we need to make sure that we put a plan in place to get that messaging out there. So think about what you're doing next month in your business. If you want to plan for the rest of the year, no harm, okay? Move that way. We've got Q2 coming up next week, okay? So a week on Saturday, 1st of April. I know, scary. So have you planned your Q2? Have you planned the rest of your year, all right? Because there's no harm in actually planning for the rest of the year. You need to know where this income is coming in. And I've just thought of something as well, because I have my social media planners and I've not put them in here, and I've just realised that I've not done that. You know, we start actually planning those around June, July time, but they have to go on sale in September. Otherwise, they're not all going to sell in time, because nobody wants to buy a planner in February and March. They want it ready for January. They actually want it for December, because they're planning their year ahead in December. So we've got to make sure that we are getting everything planned. But there's no point in me sitting there in August and going, oh crap, I forgot, I've got my social media planners. Right, quick, let's get them designed, let's get them to the printers, let's rush, let's get them out for, let's get them out for printing and everything else. It just doesn't work. You've got to plan ahead, because normally if you are launching something, a new product or a training or an event or a masterclass or a program, you need at least 3 months to start planning and thinking about it. 6 weeks of that is a social media and marketing campaign. The rest is thinking about how you're going to kind of build that, and you need to have that plan. This is why A3 sheets are great. So if you're somebody, these are my old desktop planners, but if you are somebody that's got my desktop planners and you use them every single week, don't get rid of the back. Don't get rid of them. Don't throw them away when you finish. Use the backs, because the backs are great for planning, because everything's just there. My wall in front of me is just full of A3 sheets, because they're just great to have. I used to use whiteboards, but you know what used to annoy me with whiteboards is, one, I don't have the space in here or the wall space to have them, because I've got photos and pictures up. The other thing is as well, when I was writing on them, I used to really annoy me, because I could never write straight on them. And because I've got OCD, could never write straight on them. And plus I'd end up with marker print all over my hands, and it used to just drive me mad. So coming up with these were brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I find, you know, the flip charts with the sheets on them, I just find they're too big. So these are perfect. All right. And I'm planning all the time. Okay. So, you know, make sure that you are planning. So what I want to share with you now is how you now start thinking about your marketing. So there is madness, you know, there is a method in my madness around all of this, and where I'm coming to. You might think that I'm waffling, but it all does lead up. So we need to now start thinking about what our social media structure is going to be. And I know that we spoke about what social media platforms you're going to be on and how many times a week are you going to post. And I think it was Tracy. Yes, it was. It was Tracy that said that she posted 3 times a week. And what I said to her was, after watching today, I think she'll realise actually that she can do 5 posts or 7 posts a week. And also she's mostly more than likely going to have to, because in order to actually get your message out and clear, you are going to have to do that. Okay. So how do we create a structure? How do we create a social media and marketing strategy that is going to work but be really simple, so that we can just do it in a couple of hours a week, not a day, a week. Okay. Ideally, what you do need to be doing is putting about an hour aside a day for your social media. Okay. So depending on whether you post organically or schedule, ideally you want between 30 minutes to an hour max each day just to focus on your social media. And that's making sure that your posts are going out. Okay. And that's making sure that you're doing all the following up that we spoke about as well yesterday. So let me take you into my world. So what I do once a week, so I have my plan, okay, and have my social media planned for the whole month. So currently, hold on, let me just show you. So these are my planners. So currently this is the plan for April. Okay, so I've just written down what I'm going to be talking about in the month of April. That's actually just for that's just for April. Let me show you March. I forgot March. No, that's February. So that was March's. Okay. So I plan what I'm doing. Don't plan it down to the fine detail. I just write down what I want to kind of be covering. Okay. So once I've got my plan, then I need to think to myself, okay, I need to do it on a week-to-week basis. I don't tend to do my social media all in one go in a month, because that's just new. I haven't got the time for that. I haven't got the brain space for that. So I like to just plan a week in advance. So I tend to do mine normally on a Friday afternoon, but it could be a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning. It depends what we've got going on at the weekend. If we've got a busy weekend, then I'll do it on a Friday. But if I know that I'm going to be at home, because we're away most weekends anyway, if I know that I'm going to be at home, I will plan my social media for the coming week on a Saturday or Sunday morning. I get up early, go into the office, grab a drink, and I literally just nice peace and quiet before everyone gets up. I'm an early bird, and I just plan and I start putting my social media content together. And my content is worked around what I'm going to be kind of working on for the coming months. So, you know, I spoke about, like, in April, our focus is on the launch of my Accelerator 6-month program, selling tickets to the masterclass training day that I'm doing, strategy day. I'm also running I launched my social media academy in May. That is my program where I show people how they can become a social media manager or coach. And actually, I'm really pleased about that, because we're just going through accreditation with that. So that will be certified by the end of May. So I'm really, really pleased about that. As something that I've wanted to do for ages. So because I'm launching that in May, I'm running a webinar towards the end of April, because I want people to come in on the webinar, find, you know, there'll be people that are interested in looking at a new career. So that's what I'm doing. But I've got to push that in April as well. Plus, we want to bring on new social media management clients. Then I've got a couple of one-to-one sessions that I could possibly fill. And then we've got other things like the Let's Get Social program and everything else. So that's quite busy. Okay. So in all, that's 6 things that I've got to get across in my social media every single week. However, we've only got 7 days. And if I'm only putting one post out a week, or let's say I only did 3 posts a week, how on earth am I going to get my message across in those 3 posts? It's not going to happen. It won't work. And this is why you need to think about planning, because when you plan your social media, doing 7 posts becomes a lot easier. And when you know what you are wanting to promote, that becomes easier as well. Because I will have posts that are dedicated to my Accelerate program, okay? And then I'm going to have posts that are going to be pushing the masterclass. And to be fair, those posts are going to be pretty much the same. They're just going to be advertising the masterclass. They're just going to be telling people when it is, where it is, and the link to buy the tickets. And that will just go out every single week. And then as we build up closer, it will go out more. Then I need to make sure that I've got posts going out, telling people about the academy, case studies from people that have joined my academy. I had a dentist join my academy last time, a nurse. They are now social media managers with their own business. Okay. So again, that's what I've got to think about. And when you are just putting 3 posts out a week, how do I cover all of that off? So I've got to make sure that my social media content is working towards my goals of ticking off all the things that I want to promote to help me get to that £10,000 goal for next month. So can you see how it's coming together? It's like a big jigsaw puzzle. We've got all these pieces that we've got to put together. But it's thinking about, how do we get our message across? So we need to think, and this is something to kind of consider. So you might want to put motivational quotes out. Motivational quotes, I love them, people love them, and they start relating to you. So put some motivational quotes out, but don't just put any old quote out. Make sure it is something that you have a value with, okay? It's coming from your heart, and put those out. Then we spoke about, I have touched on this yesterday, about sharing tips, knowledge around what you do. You're not giving away all of your secrets, but what you are doing is you're letting people into your world to show them that you are actually an expert in your field, okay? Because let's say, for example, my Accelerate program that launches next week, it's £250 a month, or you can pay for it upfront, 6 months, and it's £1,250. Now, anybody that joins up before the 16th of April, you get 3 months for free. So you get 9 months for the price of 6. Now, if I don't put any, if I don't tell people that I'm the expert in what I do, and that I've got to show people that I'm going to help them achieve what they need to achieve in their business. Exactly what I've done with you guys over the past 3 days. If you have joined this challenge and you see that over the 4 days, you go, well, I didn't get anything from Sam, that I didn't learn anything. There were no light bulb moments. I didn't achieve anything. You're not going to see me as an expert in my field. So I have to get that message out on my social media. Otherwise, people aren't going to see value. They're going to think, well, actually, why would I spend £250 a month with Sam? I'm not getting any value. But my social media post is going to show them that they are going to get value, because by them investing that £250, I'm going to help them take their business to the next level, to help them earn that additional income, help them start to get clarity and structure in their business, help them plan their business for the next 30, 60, 90, 180 days, actually for the 9 months. And they've got me on hand 24/7 for 9 months. That's me as a social media expert, coach, marketing, social media and business strategist on hand for £250 a month. That's pure value. When I actually went and did some research into my program, and I looked at what other people do from my point of view, I found it a bit hard actually, because I couldn't find anyone that was social media and a certified, because I'm a certified business strategist. Okay, there's a difference between being a business strategist and consultant to being certified. I've had to pass an exam. I've had to do, I've had to do coursework to get that qualification. I didn't just rock up, watch some trainings and tick a box. Okay, I've had to actually pass an exam to do that, which has been certified and accredited. So I found it really difficult to go out and find somebody that ran a 6-month course that was a social media coach and expert, and then kind of a certified strategist as well. But when I was looking at something very similar, they were like charging £3,000 for 6 months, or they were charging £499 for a month. So I then kind of started thinking to myself, actually, do I go in and charge that price? But I then went back to my values and what I am as a business, and thought to myself, no, because that isn't me offering affordable value to my potential target audience. Okay. And this is where it all comes back down to. I could easily charge £500, but then I'm not helping the people that I want to help. Okay. I want to help as many people as I can. And I know that if somebody invests that with me every single month, they're going to see a return on investment, because I've got the proof that it's happened. Okay. Because my last program that's run, I can prove that that's happened. In fact, I can prove that that person has actually, at triple the investment that they've spent with me. Okay, so that's what you've got to think about, is how do you get that message across? How do I prove to people that with them working with me, they're going to get what they're paying for? All right, and that's what you've got to do with your social media, is getting that message out there. So and this is why we need to kind of share tips and value and knowledge. And it isn't about sharing everything, because it doesn't matter if you give stuff away for free. People will still buy for your services. You'll have 90% of people that will just want free stuff all day long, and that's fine. That we have to take that. But there'll be 10% of people that will actually want to pay for your services, because they see your value and they know that what you are going to offer them is going to change something in their business. All right. I'm going to give you another example. So I'm working with a nutritionist at the moment. I'm working with her over 3 months. Now, over that 3 months, for her services and all the vitamins and the tests that I'm paying for, I'll mostly spend £1,000 over those 3 months. Now, when I told my hubby just looked at me and went, "Oh my God, £1,000 for someone to help you lose weight. This isn't about me losing weight. I want to lose 2 stone, but this is also to help me understand what my body. I've gone through fast track menopause. I've been in menopause now for a year. My body has changed. I need to understand what's going on with my body, and I'm somebody that if I understand what is going on, I can control it more." So I've been, working with this nutritionist for a couple of weeks, but I've really been on it in the last week. In the last week, I've lost 1/2 stone, and I couldn't believe it this morning, because Thursdays is weighing day, and I couldn't believe. I'm not doing much exercise at the moment, because I'm going to join the gym after I get back from holiday in after Easter. But for me, that is already, I see a return on investment from that. Okay, I'm not making any money out of it, but what I'm feeling I've got more energy levels. I'm not feeling tired at 3 o'clock. I'm losing the weight. I feel better about myself. And because my energy levels are better, and I'm able to kind of work beyond that time that I used to, I'm getting more done. I'm thinking better, because I also haven't got that brain fog as well. That's gone, which is incredible. So this is why sometimes we need to actually don't look at what something's going to cost us. We need to look at what the value is, and this is where your social media messaging comes in. What value can you offer? We also need people by people. So we need to get ourselves out there. We need to share with people who we are, what we do. So again, this is something else that you've got to build into your content. You've got to build in your testimonials, your reviews. You've got to shout from the rooftops how amazing you are. When was the last time you bought a product that had a bad review? I bet you didn't buy it. When was the last time you went to a restaurant and didn't look at the reviews, or went to a restaurant that had bad reviews? We just don't. We don't go to a restaurant now if it's got bad reviews. And that's just us, because we've just got to a point where we're fed up with eating out, spending, because it's not cheap to eat out anymore, spending a lot of money and having poor service and poor food. Holidays, when you look at holidays, you look at the reviews, and if there's some bad ones in there, you kind of go, oh, do you know what, do I risk it? Do I risk spending thousands and thousands of pounds on a holiday when it's got bad reviews? I don't. So sharing your reviews and testimonials is really important, and it's something that you should be doing every single week. It does, whether you design it in a fluffy Canva post or whether you actually share that testimonial as a case scenario in a post, you've got to make sure that you get this out there, because those testimonials are bigging you up. They are blowing your trumpet. They are telling the world how amazing you are. If you don't have testimonials, make sure you ask for them. If you don't ask, you don't get. And you should, after you've worked with every single client, you should ask them for a testimonial. When this challenge has finished, I'm going to ask you all for a testimonial, which I would love you to do on my business page, because they are priceless to me. They really are. They help my business, and they also get you out there as well, because I'll tag you in those testimonials. So don't be afraid to ask for testimonials. You also need to think about, sharing things like, did you know that I do this? Did you know that we do that? But you've also got to tell people what it is that you do and how they can sign up for you, buy your products. Because if they can't find a link, or there's something in a post and they're not quite getting it, what you do, then people aren't going to buy from you. You've got to make it really easy for people to be able to buy from you or sign up for you. And, one of the things that I hope that you found when you signed up for this challenge was it was really easy. You had the information there in front of you in the social media post. You could click on the link, you entered your details, the email was sent to you, and you could click on the link and join the group. Okay, and it's all about the customer journey and making things really simple. We don't have to make life difficult. We really don't. And the attention span of somebody on your social media is 1 second, 3 at the most. So you've got to capture that person in that 1 second. And this is the really important thing that you need to make sure that you do. What is the first line of your social media going to say to somebody? Is it getting your message across, or is it all fluff? There's no point in putting fluff. So what I want to share with you is how powerful the first line of any post is. So I'm just going to go to my social media. Okay. So the first line that people are seeing on my social media post today is, I love it when people tell me they plan their social media and marketing, but when I ask them they have a business strategy, the answer is usually no. Okay. That's going to get people looking, because they're going to kind of think to themselves, oh my God, I never thought of actually having a business plan or strategy. I sort my social media and marketing out. But when I look, if I just go through some social media posts, it's about bringing in that powerful line first, because that's what's going to attract people. Okay, when we look at marketing, TV ads and billboards and everything else, there's always a punchy line, isn't there? There's always something that's going to grab us, and that's what we need to use to grab our audience in. Think of your social media as a radio ad, a TV ad, a billboard ad. And how are you going to draw your people in? Your photo is one, because that's what's going to go pow. People are going to look at that and then read the rest. But that first line, that first sentence is really important as well. Okay. So Francis, oh, hold on a minute. We've got some, they're all stacking up now. So Emma has said, I just put a testimonial on my VIP page today. Do you recommend putting them on your Facebook main profile? Yes. Put your social media everywhere. Okay. I want you to feel, and I feel this every time I do my social media, I'm like, so this morning I put my post out, went out on LinkedIn. Okay. Then I went to my business page. It went out on my business page. Went to my group. It went on my group. Went to my Facebook personal profile. It went out on there. The only place it didn't go this morning was Instagram, but we'd already planned to put a testimonial out on Instagram. But what I will be doing, I will be putting a post out later about it. Okay. So it will go out, but you've literally got to get yourself out everywhere. Think about your social media as a wall, and think about your content as the mud. The more mud you throw at that wall, the more is going to stick. Okay, and that's what you've got to think about. You've got to get it to the point that you sit there thinking, oh my God, everyone's going to be sick and tired of seeing me. And when you get to that point, you know you've cracked it. All right. Like last night, my reel went out on Instagram. Then I threw it out on Facebook. Then it went out on TikTok and it went on YouTube Shorts. Okay. Don't be afraid to put your stuff everywhere. Don't necessarily have to put it out on the same time. Mine all went out at the same time this morning because I wanted people to join the challenge, which they did. Day 3 of the challenge, we've still got people joining because I am still advertising it. Okay. And what you've got to, and it can go out at different times of the day if you want to, but just get it out everywhere. Francis, agree with you. A confused mind says no. If we've got too many messages coming into our minds, it confuses us. Okay, we just need to make things really simple. And remember that 27 time rule. You can't just put something out once. So I can't just post about Accelerate launch on, which will be tomorrow. Okay, because we launch on Saturday. I will put a post out tomorrow. All my banners will change, all my bios will change, email marketing is planned to go out, the social media is planned to go out over the next 16 days after launch day, because I can't just put one post out and expect people to sign up. Okay, this is people parting with big sums of money to some people. £250 a month or £1,250 in one lump sum is a lot of money for a lot of people. So I can't just put one message out and say, yeah, come and join my program for the next 9 months. I'm going to help you do this, do that. They need to know, they need to trust me. They need to know that what they're getting is what they're paying for. So I can't just put one post out. All right, it's got to go absolutely everywhere. And it's got to be simple. The message has got to be really, really simple as well. Claire, I have found adding the message button or banner under my Instagram posts make a massive difference. Yes, huge. Yeah, if people can message you, that's real key. My messaging in Instagram has grown dramatically over the last month because I've changed my call to action rather than kind of divert. And this is why I say it's so important to keep up to speed with social media and social media training. Call to actions for Instagram 3 months ago would be go to the link in my bio. That's now changed. It's now DM me for more information. Sometimes we do use link in bio, but actually we're more focused now. What we've been doing is we've been testing both. And what we've been doing over the last month with testing both, we found that actually by asking people to DM us has worked a lot better. I've been testing it with stories as well. Some of my stories have been DM me, some have been with the link. And we've found that we've had more response from the DMs than what we have with the links. But 3 months ago, it was the other way around. So things are constantly changing, but I'm on top of the trends. I keep my ear to the ground with what's going on. I test things before I put them out there. And this is why it's so important to keep on top of what you're actually doing as well. So Francis has said, do you recommend posting more than one image or multiple images on an Instagram post? Both work. Okay, and I would do a mixture of both. So with my social media, we have an image go out, then we tend to have like a reel, then we have a carousel, which is more than one image. Sorry, my voice is going. So yeah, so we have one post, we have a reel, then we'll have a post go out as a carousel, which is normally 5 images or more. Okay, and then we'll have like another one post, then we'll have a reel and then a post. Now, with a post, that would be around about 4-hour shelf life. That's what normally happens with that. Reels last a little bit longer. Reels can last. I've got a reel that I put out last, not Boxing Day, just gone, the Boxing Day before, and it still gets interaction on. So what's that? 15 months. But carousels, or what a carousel is more than one image. They will get a lot of airtime. And what will happen is, if someone looks at your post with a carousel and they see the first image, when they go back onto their Instagram, Instagram will automatically show them the next image, and so on and so on and so on, until hopefully that person has seen all the images. So that's one thing that I would highly recommend doing as well. But don't do it all the time. A couple of times a week is fine. Okay. So where are we? Claire had said, yeah, I do it. Makes sense. It's so easy for people as they don't need to go to another page or do anything. Exactly. Think about how many clicks people need to do in order to buy something from you. It was interesting, and I brought this up in my group a while ago, but I like to use it as a case scenario. So I was on Instagram a while ago, and this jumpsuit came up that I really, really liked, and I loved it, but I couldn't buy it because there was no link in the bio to buy it. There was no button to buy it, and I just commented below and said to the person, "Oh, really love that jumpsuit. Could you send me a link?" So she then sent me a message. This was on Instagram. She then sent me a message on Facebook to say that I could watch her Facebook Live in her group. Well, one, I'm not in her group, so it meant that I had to go and join the group to then go and watch the 20-minute live to find out how I buy the jumpsuit. I then said, well, can you just send me a link? Well, I don't have a link. I don't have a website. I don't have a shop. People just buy from me directly. Okay, well, I just want to know how much it is. Oh, well, I talk about that in my live. So in the end, I went online, I put in the name of the jumpsuit, found someone else that sold it, found out what the cost was, and I went and bought it. Okay, because it was just making my life so difficult. I wanted to part with my money, and she just didn't want to take my money. All right, so you've got to make things easy. You'll see a lot of people that will say link in comments. Don't put your link in the comments. Okay, put your link in the post, because if you have a post that has a lot of comments, people aren't going to look through the comments to look for the link. Just put the link in the post. Okay, it makes no difference. A while back, and I'm talking a couple of years, the social media posts or platforms didn't like you putting links in posts, so people just started putting it in comments, but that doesn't work anymore. They're happy that your post isn't going to get any more or any less reach by doing it. And plus, what you have to balance out is, as well, you've got to look at, are people going to buy something because they can find something really easy, and make sure your link works, and make sure you test your links as well, especially if you're doing something like a launch. So whenever we do a launch, I do a sequence. So with the Accelerate program that launches, we've got the funnel, we've got the sales page all done. All the links in that have been tested that it goes to the buy-in page. Then I've gone through and I've purchased it at both levels, or one payment and then the monthly payment. And we've made sure that that works. Then we've made sure that the whole process works, because if somebody can't go through the process and there's a break or something, are they going to come back? Most probably not. Okay, so you've only got one chance normally to get that client, so you have to make things really, really simple. All right, I asked someone was advertising an eye cream the other day because I need a new eye cream, and she sent me asked her to send me the link. She sent me the link, but the link wasn't to the eye cream, it was to a home page. And on the home page, I couldn't find where to find this where to find this eye cream on the homepage. It wasn't till I was like searching around, and actually I was just I could have been at the point where it's like, do you know what, I don't have the time for this. It just has to be really, really simple. Okay, so I hope that's not information overload. That's lots to take away. Don't forget, if you need to rewatch this, you can. But today's challenge is, what I would like you to do is plan your social media for next month. Okay, and what I'm going to do to help you, I'm going to put a planning sheet, because I know not all of you have got my planners. Okay, so what I will do, I will put an April planning sheet in the group that you can print off, okay, and use. And what I'll do as well, what I'll give you is yeah, I'll give you those. I'll give you that, and I might put some other little bits in there as well for you. And what I want you to think about is planning your social media for April. Okay, and that's all I want you to do for today's task. But I want you to do it based on what you want to earn next month, what your products and services are, and how are your products and services going to help you get to that. So it's about breaking it all down, and once you've broken it all down, you then know what you need to talk about in your social media. Okay, because there's no point in talking about the weather if you want to go and sell. I'm going to pick on you, Claire. There's no point in talking about the weather, Claire, if you have got 4 gaps in your diary next month for hair appointments and you want to get those filled. Okay, because what you need to be doing is making sure that you're advertising those spaces. Or for your hair extensions, you need to be telling more people about, you know, the hair extensions. People are now out face to face, got holiday season coming up, and that's what people want to want to be talking about. So make sure that what you are looking to sell next, in over the next 6 weeks, is what you are focusing on in your social media. All right, and don't go off with the fairies. Yes, you do have to put posts in there that are attracting people, talking about what you're doing in your personal life, might just be asking for a recommendation, but your main focus are those things. So in the post that I put up for today, today's task is just putting a screenshot of the planner. I will put the planner in straight away so that you've got that you can print that off. If you've got any questions, let me know. If you're watching this on the hashtag replay, let me know as well. And I will be live tomorrow at 10 o'clock because I might be a little bit after 10 because I have my coaching session with my program group at 9 o'clock, and we normally finish just after 10 o'clock. So I will be here. But yeah, see you tomorrow. I'm going to announce the winner of the one-to-one with me tomorrow as well. So you have until you've got until this afternoon to add people to the group, because you've got until when am I going to draw the winner? I'm out this evening, so you've got until 5 o'clock, okay, today, to add people to get your extra tickets in to win the one-to-one. Let me make a note of that so I know what time. Okay, and I'll announce the winner tomorrow on tomorrow's session. And yeah, I've got a little bit of a bonus for you as well tomorrow, which I would like to offer you for those that are joining tomorrow. And yeah, and tomorrow we're kind of going to wrap everything up and answer any questions as well. Oh, one last question, maybe a silly question, no such thing as a silly question, but with my services, would you prefer to message me or straight to book a call with me with a direct link? Test both and see what would work. I prefer to message people. Okay, I like voice notes. I like to message people and kind of go, okay, I just want to, and I think I do that because through messaging and voice messaging people, I can get to figure out whether I want to work with that person or not. It's not down to their response time. It's how they might reply to my messages. Okay, we're looking for a dog sitter at the moment. Okay, and I've sent a message out to about 12 dog sitters, and some of them have come back to me, and I'm like, I don't think I want my dog anywhere near you. And that's that. I don't know them, but the way that they message isn't something that comes across. I've had some really blunt ones, and I'm kind of like, oh, okay, this isn't going to work. Because I have to have a good relationship with someone to work with them. So for me, I prefer to message people, but some people prefer to just look at links. I mean, with some things, I like to know there's a link there. So do both and test both and see what works. But Emma, yeah, voice notes are great. But messages do get lost sometimes. So what I tend to do when I'm doing a voice note, so say for example, if I send a voice note to someone and it's talking about one of our services, I'll go to them because I feel that people can hear the passion in your voice, and I'll send them a voice note. So let's say, for example, hi Emma, thanks for showing interest in my Accelerate program. Yes, doors open on the 16th of April, but you can join now because there's lots of free stuff for you. It's you can buy it all in one go for £1,249, or you can pay monthly, which is £250. And if you join before the 16th of April, you get 3 months free, so you get 9 months for the price of 6. Really would love you to be on board. Really think that this program will help you take your business to the next level. Any questions, let me know. And then what I do below is I will just then send a message just to say, just to really, kind of confirm what I've spoken about. Okay, I will just kind of say hi, just a quick voice note just to confirm what you wanted to know. So it reminds me of what I'm doing from there as well. Okay, but yeah, it's a good. They're great. Voice notes are great to just kind of go through, especially when you're busy kind of sorting washing out and lunch and everything else. So Kelly said definitely makes much sense to hear someone and we can build that rapport instantly. Yeah, and you know the other thing that it does as well, you know that 27 times I was talking about brings it down, because when you hear someone's voice you think, oh my god, this is a real person. Okay, and then you start seeing pictures of them, you start stalking them on social media, and you start seeing people, and then you start following them, then you start to feel that they're your friend. I had someone, say to me the other day, "Oh my God, you're famous, Sam, because I see you everywhere. You're on social media, you're on YouTube, you're doing this." I'm not famous. I'm not famous at all. What I am is I'm, excuse my French, shit hot at my social media marketing and business strategy. That I'm out there and I'm literally everywhere because I throw so much mud at the wall that it all sticks. Okay, and it works. Remember this funnel? We've got to put a lot in the top in order for people to come through. You can't expect to show 100 people what you do and have 100 people sign up or buy from you. It's going to be a very, very small amount. So we need to keep getting it out there so those small amounts add up to big amounts. Okay. So we're a bit longer than today, so I do apologise if I've kept anyone. But if you've got any questions, please let me know. Looking forward to seeing your task for today. Give me a hashtag replay if you're watching this on a replay. And don't forget, I will see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock live in the group. Take care, everyone. Bye.